Let's get the front office view on some of these hires from RGM, Charlie Castro. Let's start with Brian Flores. Your thoughts on the guy that could potentially be the new head coach in Miami, Charlie?
Very smart, got a great presence to him. People talk about him being different than Belichick. I would say this: be the same as Bill Belichick on football, but be your own personality. Don't try to copy Bill's personality. And Brian Flores will not do that. The other thing is, I like the fact he started in scouting. I think that's going to give him an instant relationship with Chris Grier, the general manager.
Yeah, a lot of people we've seen try to emulate the Patriot way. Turns out the Patriot way is having good football players and being good at calling football plays as well. Let's look elsewhere in the division. Well, actually, Charlie, let's just look at some of these new head coaches that have young quarterbacks, and we'll start in that division with Adam Gase.
You know, when you look at Adam Gase's history and you go with Tim Tebow, Jay Cutler, Ryan Tannehill, each one of them, to me, played the best football of their career with him. So that's a positive. Now he's got a guy that's better than all of them. So I think Darnold's going to be excited, and I think Gase is excited about that opportunity there. For his record, he's under 500, but he played a lot of games without his starting quarterback. With his starting quarterback, that record would have been different. So the defensive staff coming together and his adjusting to the New York environment, those are things to watch there.
Also falling into that category, Freddie Kitchens goes from the play caller to now the head coach of Baker Mayfield and Company. How did you feel about that decision, Charlie?
Well, you know, you like it. He earned it. One of the things you do if you fire a coach in season, you hope the guy you put in, okay, or the guy you elevate, in this case the coordinator, can be a candidate. They elevated him to coordinator, which was smart, didn't make him the head coach, but coordinator was better. He got a chance to get his feet wet. He did an outstanding job as a coordinator. And the other thing is, Mayfield and him really came together, and Mayfield improved there. They wanted the ball out quicker, and they got it that way. So I think it's a positive. Again, who he hires on the staff, I think, is going to say a lot for it. But I like the fact he earned it. That's good.
And they're getting some additions to Cliff Kingsbury's staff in Arizona. He's got Josh Rosen at quarterback. How do you think that matchup is going to work, Charlie?
Well, it's going to be interesting because Rosen's issue of why he didn't go higher in the draft was his personality. And so that's going to be a challenge there in some ways for both of them to get along. Now, we know Rosen's got throwing talent. That's the issue. Book on Kingsbury. The guy's energetic. He's got charisma to him. He's very good with quarterbacks. He's a very innovative guy. Defensively, they weren't very good where he was. Was that his inability to hire a coordinator? Was his lack of focus on the defense? Was it not managing the game properly? And some people felt they weren't as disciplined on the field as they should have been. So all those things we'll find out here. Vance Joseph, I thought, was a good hire as coordinator.
And one of the new head coaches, Matt LaFleur, goes from Tennessee. Now he's got Aaron Rodgers at quarterback in Green Bay. Is that matchup going to work for the Packers, Charlie?
Well, I'll tell you what, they were looking for a new message, so they got the new message, and they were looking for somebody that can connect with Aaron Rodgers. So my understanding is LaFleur had a good plan in the interview, and Rodgers is very receptive and excited about it. I think when you got a veteran quarterback, you have to give him ownership to the offense to a degree. You have to figure out what he likes and what he doesn't like, and that's got to be part of the offense. And I think LaFleur understands that, and I think that's how he'll start communicating and winning over Rodgers is, hey, we're in this together. Let's figure out what you want to do. Let's figure out how it fits in. Let's figure out what you don't like to do, and we won't do that. So I think they're going to start off on the right foot there. LaFleur really was helped by being the head coach in Tennessee and getting away from the system for the Rams because he had to. He didn't have the same players, and he adjusted. That was critical in his coaching development.
And some of these coaches have a lot of experience, and the quarterbacks do as well. Bruce Arians and Jameis Winston, as well as Vic Fangio and whoever is going to be the quarterback, perhaps Case Keenum. How do you see those coaching situations playing out, Charlie?
Good. I'll run through both of them. First of all, Bruce Arians had Jameis Winston at camp when he was 15 years old, so there's a connection there. Jason Light, the GM, was in Arizona, so there's a connection there. So I think those three things brought Tampa together to say this makes the most sense. Now, here's the thing. He hires Todd Bowles as defensive coordinator. He gets an A+ for that. Not a surprise he hired him, not a surprise Todd went there. Bruce will hire a very good staff. Here's the only thing. Guess what? They were number one in the league in pass offense last year, number 3 in offense last year. The key is the defense and getting a running game going. That's going to be the key there. And Todd Bowles taking this front. Is it 4-3 or 3-4? what he has to do there. They got to get some help in the secondary. They got to get healthy. Now, Vic Fangio, I work with Vic. Here's the thing with Vic. The guy is an experienced defensive coach. He's a brilliant defensive mind. I think he's got some good ideas on who he wants to hire on the offensive side. We read about Ian's report about Munchak possibly going there. That's a home run. I'll tell you what, this will be one interesting one because Vic did a great job of connecting with the defensive players. Now he's got to connect with the whole team. I think he's going to do something there. A lot of people rooting for this guy. Longtime assistant in the NFL finally getting his chance.